Remember the guy who made a video of his skills to get hired? Or the person who actually ran an Instagram campaign to showcase himself as a potential marketing hire? Well, the pandemic has shaken our jobs and our future to the very core. And while so many of us are out there looking for a job, well, it seems as though a resume is just no longer enough. And yet, it's the first thing everyone seems to ask for. What should you do to make an impact with your resume?
Welcome to Small Talk with Raincraft. I'm Subha.
And I'm Hasita.
In this episode, we'd really like to talk about something that so many of us are going through right now. A deep sense of insecurity about their current economic situation. We need certainty now more than ever, and that's causing all of us to rethink our career choices a bit too. Some of my clients tell me that they're finding several interesting opportunities out there which they would love to pursue in the near future. It may entail switching from one industry to another, but they would like to explore opportunities that fall outside of their current experience. But the process of getting hired is dark and full of terrors. And the first of those obstacles is a resume. What is really wrong with so many resumes?
I realize now that all of the training we received back in college to, get us job ready probably missed the brief on what to say before our foot is through the actual door. My first resume was a series of things I'd achieved in grad school or even before.
Then the question arises, Hasita, how often do you update it?
Well, to be honest, Subha, it's been a work in progress forever, as you know. But also LinkedIn has become my new resume. Whatever changes, I just update my profile and download a copy as and when I need it.
A LinkedIn profile is a great start. And I'm at least happy to hear that you have one that's current. And wouldn't it be great if we could all just send a link and be done with it? But hiring still happens today, basis email exchange of information or uploading documents on a portal. And that's where resumes have a major role to play. So that's why I'd like to mention that every working professional should keep some record of what they've been up to, not just when you are looking for a job. It helps you in many ways. It helps you look at how your career trajectory is shaping up, what skills you've picked up, and hence what are the skill gaps, and even lets you think about what you want to do next. Otherwise, what happens is we get a shot at a new opportunity we really want, and we have to quickly rehash an older resume or write only that which immediately comes to mind. So even if it's just a Google Doc of status updates and bullet points, having some sense of what we've been working on can help immensely.
It's interesting that you mentioned maintaining a record. Wouldn't I naturally remember stuff that I worked on?
Not always. In fact, if you dig back far enough in your folders, you'll surely find some clients you don't recall working with, or projects that you actually did really well on, but you signed off in a short period and now you've forgotten about it. Imagine having to put all this together in half a day because you find a new job opportunity.
So basically, we should not be depending on our own memories?
Yeah, that's true. There is a saying that memory is a fair weather friend. And under the stress of putting something together, we may end up doing a disservice to ourselves. A resume is a small window of opportunities to tell our stories well. And it's literally the only chance we have at showcasing ourselves among hundreds of others. Right? What is the job of a resume finally? To get us through the door to at least have an interview. So a well-written record is always a good idea.
So if I were to start documenting all of my work over time, what should I be looking for in my raw file?
So Hasita, what I really want you to look for is patterns. See where the career graph is headed. In fact, resume writing can be a rewarding experience even if you're not actively looking for a job right now. It can help you understand and map out your own growth curve. And then you're able to tell a compelling story of your work life, threading together what you've done in the past and why it makes logical sense for what you're looking to do next.
That makes sense, Subha. I'm also wondering though, since you mentioned standing out among hundreds of other profiles, probably even thousands right now, what would a hiring agency be looking for in a resume?
Now that's an interesting question. And I must say here, a hiring agency and a business leader may be looking for vastly different things. This is particularly the case when looking for new hires has been outsourced. What happens typically is that the hiring agency looks for keywords so that they can filter and send the right ones to the company. Particularly in the context of digital profiles like a job portal, it's always a good idea to add specific relevant keywords to your profile to help you get shortlisted. And even companies are now using a lot of AI to parse through resumes and filter if they don't see certain keywords.
Got it. And once it goes to the company stage, what should I be focusing on?
One tip I love sharing with my clients is this: a resume is not just about you. It really isn't. It's about your ability to do a specific job. Naturally, this means that some sections of the resume have to be customized for each job you're applying to. This could include showing the most relevant skills up top, mentioning past experiences that are more relevant to the job in question, and so on. Some jobs may need a greater focus on how you manage processes. Some jobs may be more about your leadership style. So you must customize for each one.
It's a bit like sending out a marketing pitch, right? You'd never send one out without understanding the client's needs. So why should a resume be any different?
Exactly. And the same goes even for a cover letter if you're sending one out. Customize, customize, customize.
So now that we broadly know what to aim for with a resume, how do we go about actually writing it?
With every resume that I've given a makeover to, one issue stands out: language. And I don't just mean grammar and syntax, which definitely shouldn't go wrong. I mean the way work experience is covered, from early career clients to very senior leaders. I find we all excel at stating the job description. Responsible for a 30-member team delivering XXX. In charge of sales for the northern region, so on and so forth. That first page is prime real estate. It's like a shot at a front page ad. Don't waste it on describing the employer or what they asked you to do. Focus on what you did with the role given to you and what you achieved. Focus on outcomes, highlights, achievements with data points. If 10 people were given the same job, how did you make a difference? How did you run with it and make an impact? What did you add to the role? I see several senior leaders put down skills like stakeholder management or people management. Now, at the level and role that they're in, that's a given, that's expected from them. So, what more did you do that differentiates you? That's what you want to talk about.
Then what if it was an average journey with only so much to write about? Or what if I was a fresher, or perhaps I've been in the same role for a very long time period? What do I include then?
Then, once you've covered your key achievements, talk a bit about your learning. If you've had some years of experience, what skills did you gain from each role in your career? How did you grow from role to role? Talk about projects, people management skills, your leadership style, and so on. If you're just starting out, look at showcasing internships and other co-curricular engagements that you may have taken part in. How did you step out of your comfort zone and pick up something new and make something of it? I'd even say don't just depend on the resume to get you through. Research the company on LinkedIn, contact the job poster or a relevant team lead, and mention why you'd like to work with them.
It is time then to let a resume communicate beyond what it says in there. And with that, it's action time. Subha, if I were to start my resume from scratch, what steps should I follow that I know will work?
First, start with what the company actually wants to know. Then map the company's needs with your experience and skills so that you can update your resume focusing on these outcomes. Next, ensure basic hygiene, that all contact information is accurate, you're okay on grammar, spelling, syntax, readability, etc. And finally, send it out with a nice cover letter or a note to the hiring manager. And remember, always as a PDF, please, so that it looks the way you want it to.
So there you have it. Let's wind up with a summary of what a resume is not. A resume is not a compilation of our life history. A resume is not a document we've had since 2010. A resume is not long and wordy, and a resume is not only about us.
So, what's a burning question you have on crafting your resume? Send us a voice note at speakpipe.com/raincraft or write to us at connect@raincraft.in.
Thank you for tuning in today.